The newest Pokemon Presents dropped a little over a week ago at this point, and to say it was controversial would be an understatement. Many people stating that the Direct didn't show that much about Legend ZA and wanting more Mega Evolutions. And the fact that the only Mega Evolution that they showed was Mega Dragonite, where you either really love it or really hate it. However, what if I said that the Direct had way more information than it originally let on? You see, I think that in the Legends ZA trailer, it had a huge clue in it for how the story's actually going to unfold. I think you're actually going to have to choose between one of a few groups at a key point in this game's story. So first, let me explain why I think this is, and for me to do this, we need to go all the way back to Generation 1. You see, Pokemon has had a history of always having at least 2 versions of each game, most of the time changing what wild Pokemon you get and a few other small things. For instance, in Generation 1, it wasn't as noticeable because of it just being wild Pokemon. But starting in Generation 2, that changes. You see, in Pokemon Gold and Silver, the wild Pokemon did in fact change, depending on what version you played, but it also changed what legendary you got. And this continues even up into the Scarlet and Violet games, where you'll get Koraidon if you play Pokemon Scarlet, and Miraidon if you play Pokemon Violet. Now, you might be going, yeah, but Legends ZA is only one game, so they'll have to let you get all the old Kalos legendaries, and there couldn't be that much of a version difference because there is no version difference. But let me remind you, Legends Arceus was also just one game, in which you had to make a critical choice point to get either one of the legendaries, being Dialga and Palkia. Siding with Adaman gets you Dialga, while Iridia gets you Palkia. Side note, always choose Iridia. Now, I know what you're thinking, that these choices only change what wild Pokemon you obtain, and for the most part, you are correct. However, if we go to Pokemon X and Y, this is a completely different story, as the versions you pick change what the ultimate weapon does, and in consequence changes the entire story of Kalos. You see, if you're playing Pokemon X, the ultimate weapon brings life, or grants immortality, but in Pokemon Y, it's the exact opposite of that, destroying life. Now, let's go back to Legends ZA. There's a non-zero chance that the ultimate weapon isn't brought up or being used, especially with AZ being in the game, and being a predominant figure. So it would make sense to make another choice point in a similar vein involving the ultimate weapon. It actually wouldn't surprise me if the ultimate weapon is somewhat responsible for the wild Mega Evolutions happening, with it releasing Mega Particles. After all, the ultimate weapon is made out of the same crystal-like substance we see in Anastar, but that's a theory for another day. So why do I think this game will make you choose a group, and that'll be a deciding factor? Well, after watching the Direct for way too long, and reading the Pokemon Legends ZA website, there was one line of dialogue that I noticed that was really throwing me off. You see, in the game's trailer, you're introduced to a character named Corblow? They said it in the trailer, but I can't pronounce his name. You see, if you go to the Pokemon Legends ZA website and go to Corblow and look at the second image, it actually will say the following line: "Nothing too hard, I just want you to take care of some little jobs here and there for us." Now, this line alone makes it seem like it's just a side quest, but he actually isn't the only character that has a line similar to this. Emma also has a line asking the player to help her out with her detective work, and she's also researching Mega Evolutions. Now, 2 characters asking for help could just mean that, yeah, there's a lot of side quests to do, but it isn't just 2 either. It's actually way more than that. You see, Mabel also is asking for help with her investigation. And what is she investigating, you might ask? Well, she's researching why, since the urban redevelopment plan began, the number of wild Pokemon in Lumio City has increased a significant amount. So that right there is 3 characters asking the players for help, but it goes deeper. You see, Quasartico is in charge of the urban redevelopment plan, and I fully believe they're also going to task you with help with the renovations. And we saw earlier in the trailer with Team MZ stating that they want to protect Lumio City. And how are you going to protect Lumio City? You don't just start by protecting it. You start by doing side quests, by helping out the citizens of the city, doing side quests. So I think eventually there's going to be 3 main groups that'll be forming. The first group, of course, is going to be Team MZ, which will be the player, Townie, or Arbane, depending on which gender you play, Leah, and Naveen, with the other 2 groups being the groups that is investigating the cause of the wild Mega Evolution, being Emma and Mabel, and the final group is going to be the Rust Syndicate. And I think at some point, Team MZ is going to have to pick a side, joining Emma and Mabel, or the Rust Syndicate, to take down Quasartico. So, what do you think? Which team would you join if this ends up happening? And let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.